YouTube? It's your boy Shibishi. I'm back again with another reaction video. So I'm back with another car review. So tonight I am reacting to Lucid Air GT. So Lucid, those who don't know, like, it's a brand new car on the market. It's a new baby on the market. It's an electric car, fully electrical car that uses battery, doesn't have engine. So basically is the new baby that is competing with Tesla. So if you know Tesla, you know what Tesla is capable of, and now you will know what Lucid Air is coming for. So basically we're just gonna, like, I've seen a few stories about Lucid. One of the stories that I know is Lucid when they were starting their, like, when they were releasing their car, or when they were like starting with their production, they hired a former executive of Tesla. I forgot his name. I will check him out. But he is now working with Lucid, and he's a CEO, and he's also a CTO. I think it's called a CTO, as Chief Technology Officer, something like that. Yeah, but he is an executive in the Lucid. So they took someone who knows what, like, how electric cars works and the market and everything. So they took him from Tesla, and then now he's working for them. He's working with them with this car. So it's a very interesting, for me, it's a very interesting story. It's a very interesting competition for Elon Musk. So let me not talk too much about this car. This is just the information that I know so far about Tesla. I mean Lucid Air. That Lucid Air is a new baby, because Tesla was the only electric car that was okay. Let me not say the only, because, like, there's this other Chevrolet that is an electric car, but Tesla is the biggest electric car, like the most selling electric car in the world. So Lucid Air is kind of making waves, because, like, other electric cars, even if they exist, they're not making noise, they're not making waves like Lucid. So Lucid is making a lot of waves. So let's just check it out and see what they have for us with Lucid.
Behind me is the Lucid Air Grand Touring Edition, the electric vehicle from the startup automaker here in Silicon Valley. Now, this isn't quite production, but it was built at its Arizona facility, and I'm going to take a ride in it. The Lucid Air from Lucid Motors starts at $77,400 before federal tax credits. The version I have behind me, the Grand Touring, it starts at $131,000. Now, this vehicle has a range of up to 517 miles, which is sort of insane when you think about the fact that this is just an automotive startup. It's not Tesla, that's been around for over a decade, and it's definitely not an OEM that's been around for, say, 100 years. Today's ride is all about the chassis and the driving experience of this vehicle. Lucid tells me they're about 80% done with that. That 517 miles of range, that's based on 19-inch wheels with some special tires.
Basically, this is not like a production car yet. It's just like a, let me just say, demo car or a prototype. But, like, it looks like a production car when you look at it.
Wheels are very important to EVs. These are the 21-inch wheels, and you'll have less range, but when you're around 500 miles, I guess that really doesn't matter. But it just shows how important the wheel and tire setup are for EVs. While I wasn't able to drive the vehicle because it is a release candidate, I can tell you that sitting in the driver's seat without driving, it does exude a luxury that Lucid is going for. Right now, they are actually targeting German automakers.
So those of you who loves movies, who've been watching movies, like, if you've been watching movies from, like, during the times of, like, Back to the Future, this kind of like this car, like the cars, like especially Tesla and Lucid, like the way we see them now, this cars, it's even with the Mercedes-Benz, like there are some cars, like the interior, they look like those cars that we used to see in the movies, that they say, yeah, these are the cars that exist in the future. So basically now, meaning now we're living in the future. I'm just saying.
Which means they're targeting the brand new EQS that was just announced. It doesn't have the giant.
You see, like this Mercedes, actually I've never heard of this before, but like growing up, let me just say, back in the days, there were times where we would go to internet and then just like find cars that are kind of like, I don't know, I don't know who was releasing those cars. So maybe Mercedes was just releasing those cars that just for internet or maybe for entertainment. I don't know, but those were the cars that I would look at and think, this car, like maybe this kind of a car is going to be released in the next 100 years. I don't know, you see, because inside it looks like a spaceship. It's like it doesn't look like a car that you can drive, especially in those times, like maybe 2009 and 2010. Like this kind of a car, it was kind of something that you would think it's going to release like in the next maybe 200 years, or like when you think, you just think of like a very future that is very far, like a future that's too far from us. So but now looks like that future is like it's here, like we are in that future, that these cars now are being released and we're living with them.
Giant screen that Mercedes has, but does have a nice setup. You have your dash cluster, you have your infotainment system, you also have this third screen over here where you can use for auxiliary features. And I don't know why I love this, but I do. There's also something else, this fun little additional infotainment screen that pops out from the dash. Now from here, you can adjust your climate controls, you can quickly make adjustments to the vehicle, and
so basically the dash, they just use like it's a tablet, like just that is just hidden in there, like you just press the button and then the the tablet comes out and then it's a control, because it's not like a screen that we used to that. Okay, I know Audi, some of Audis, they have a screen that is like, I've seen in Audi A3 that had a screen like on top of the dashboard, like you just, when you start a car, it comes out, and then when you turn off the car, and then it goes in. So it's kind of like a similar technology, but this one is it's a way advanced technology, because like this is just like it looks like a tablet that you can just take it out and control your car from outside. I'm not sure if this one can come out.
of course regular settings and parking. And when you're done with it and you need to get to the storage behind it, you just tap and hold and it goes away. The Lucid Air is trying to do something that before EVs might not have been possible, and that is make a comfortable luxury vehicle that's on par with the S-Class while also trying to give drivers the performance of, say, a Taycan or a Model S. And that is all because of the EV platform, the ability to give drivers something that's comfortable, but also something that is performance ready if you want it. During my ride, I was able to experience the two driving modes, comfort and sport. And comfort, it did convey a placid experience. It wasn't quite ready yet. You can tell that there's a little bit of fine tuning that needs to be done, but overall, they are moving in the right direction.
Look at this part, like the dash part. Look at this part here. I haven't seen a button that is just like a button. What can I say? Like a hard button. Everything that I see here is a screen. Everything, like everything that you control, except okay, on the steering wheel there are buttons, but on the dashboard, all I see is it's a screen. It's two screens. Screen for the dash, like for controlling everything about a car, and I think even the speedometer is gonna be there, and like in the other impressive hidden tablet that is for other controls. But the car is just touchscreen. Like that's just what I think is another thing that is impressive about this car. The thing is, like, I'm kind of interested knowing more about this car than I've never got interested like with Tesla. I think I'm gonna have to, like, while I go through a journey of understanding more about this car, because it got interested to me that there's a car that is competing with Tesla, and Tesla, you can see now Elon Musk is the richest man in the world, meaning Tesla is doing good. Also, like, plus he also owns SpaceX, but like Tesla, I think it's because it's the biggest selling electric car in the world. So I'm just interested in seeing, like, what is a Lucid Air bringing to the table in order to compete with Tesla. So let's just see what they have.
Direction. In sport, well, you got a car with 800 horsepower and neck-snapping acceleration because of that EV powertrain, and it was pretty exciting, and I think it's going to get better once the production vehicle is ready. In addition to its large 113 kilowatt-hour battery pack, the design of the vehicle, while striking, is also very slim once the production vehicle is ready. In addition to its large 113 kilowatt-hour battery pack,
113 kilowatt, okay.
The design of the vehicle, while striking, is also very slippery, with a drag coefficient of 0.21, which is, well, that's like supercar drag coefficient. Of course, topping up that large battery means you need a lot of power. And in order to do that quickly, Lucid is using a 900 volt architecture system, which is, well, 100 volts more than everyone else who's using 800, like the Taycan. And that means it can charge at a rate of 350 kilowatts. That is mighty quick. That means at peak, you can get 300 miles of range in about 20 minutes. One thing that Lucid did borrow from, let's just say, the economy segment of EVs is one pedal driving, where you lift your foot off the accelerator and the vehicle's motor actually helps bring the car to a stop, well, eventually. That's great for regenerative braking.
So are they saying this car, you don't need to press the brakes, it just stops by itself? Let me just
the accelerator and the vehicle's motor actually helps bring the car to a stop, well, eventually. That's great for regenerative braking, and it's also a pretty nice experience when you're sort of driving around town. Now, they also have updated the brakes, but like everything else with the release candidate, they are still tweaking them. But I will say during my drive, well, it brought us to a stop when we were going really fast. That's really all they need to do. And of course, in addition to the plethora of sensors that you should expect on any high-end vehicle, Lucid has added something that, well, we've heard about and we've talked about forever. Turns out that the Lucid will have LiDAR. Yes, LiDAR, the thing that Elon Musk hates and everyone else is using to test their autonomous vehicles. LiDAR will be available on this vehicle in addition to a long-range radar. There will be over-the-air updates. It'll be level 2, potentially level 2 plus over the air.